Are you ready for the ultimate bikepacking weekend adventure? Join us for an unforgettable self-supported bikepacking trip through Southwest Virginia. The Grayson Gravel Pie Bikepacking Adventure travels along the Virginia Creeper Trail, the beautiful gravel roads of Grayson County, Virginia, and the New River Trail. All lodging and camping arrangements are included, along with daily routes and guides riding along with you. This self-supported adventure offers resupply opportunities every 20 miles for your food and water needs. Find out more at graveltraveldirt.com.
You're listening to Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brian.
And I'm Jess. It's weird not having Joey.
It is
Go ahead,
strange.
Brian.
It's strange. And it's also, you and I are in different places too, because
Exactly.
Joey is mystery ill. We're not exactly sure. We're just going to call it mystery ill.
Yeah, we're really not sure what's going on there.
This is episode 178 of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. If you're new here, this is a podcast where we talk about gravel bikes, adventure biking, bikepacking, bike camping. Tonight, we're going to talk about Joey a lot because he's not here to defend himself.
Yeah.
And Tuesday is normally like y'all go at each other, but tonight you and I are going to gang up on Joey, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or we're just going to talk about playing bikes. Joining us tonight in just a little bit is Travis Olson, who is the event director for GRUSK, Gravel Race Up Spruce Knob in West Virginia, that's happening this very weekend. And I'm going to be there, and Jess, you're going to be there, right?
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about the elevation is a little bit daunting to me.
Which distance are you doing?
The 28/32.
Okay, I don't really know what I have things in front of me, but I'm trying to figure out. I know that Travis said he sent an email, and I have yet to read the email, so I'm sure he sent some information on that with routes and everything. I should probably call that up, but.
I was kind of talking, I was just sending emails back and forth, and I was like, hey, just checking in that I'm on signed up for like the smallest category or the smallest distance. And he said, yes, but the last 7 miles or something like that, if it's a dry day, it's really beautiful and flat and stuff like that. So he was kind of giving me the ins and outs of the differences in the two smaller distances.
I did look at the routes earlier, and I know that I'm doing the 50, and I think Larry is doing the 80, and we're all going to be on different like course directions, I think is the way.
Oh yeah,
we'll figure all that out later. We'll actually bombard Travis. He messaged me earlier today, and he said, I'm ready for all the hard questions. And I don't know that I have any hard questions for Travis. Maybe you do. Maybe you have some.
Yeah.
But before we even get to any of that, who do we have to thank? Work with me.
I'm guessing Cutaway for the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Cutaway USA, because they offer premium cycling apparel born in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Everybody, we don't make this happen every week without a couple of things. The first thing, and the most important thing, is our listeners and those folks that support us financially with Patreon or just sending us a little bit of PayPal money every month, which is, we appreciate all of you, everybody that listens, everybody that sends us a cup of coffee or buys us a beer through Patreon. We love that. Thank you so very much. But Cutaway USA, we have to thank them as well, because they have come up big with our kits and providing us with support. They are an industry leader using innovative fabrics combined with both clean and bold designs. Make sure to see their website at cutawayusa.com. There'll be a link in the show notes. Check out all their stuff. And when you reach the checkout, use the code GTD20 to take 20% off of your entire order. Now, that is a special discount offer that is just for who, Jess? Who is that for?
Just for listeners. But
yes.
Are we going to be in the Blue Ridge Mountains this weekend?
Yeah, I think that is. I think that's
isn't it like the mountain range or something like that?
Absolutely.
Cool. What kit are you wearing this weekend?
I will be wearing my Cutaway USA, the V2, the version 2, the nice green kit. Which kit are you going to be wearing?
Probably a t-shirt, but I am going to ride with a Sharpie, just like you told me, so I can write down everybody I meet over the weekend.
I saw you put that on Instagram. That's so much fun.
So you're right. So many of us, like, I meet people and I'm like, oh my God, it was so great meeting you. Like, blah, blah.
Are you going to let them write on your hand what their name is?
I should. And then I'll definitely walk into pre-K on Monday with like all these like names and messages on my hand.
I will not be writing anything in Sharpie on my body, but maybe I will carry a pen and a piece of paper or something with me, and I'll write it all down. But that is probably the best. That's the thing I look forward to the most about events now. And honestly, that's why I've just backed off my distance. I want more time with the people. It's a beautiful ride. Whether you do the 25, whether you do the 50, whether you do the 80, whether you do the 80 twice, you're out there in a beautiful place with a bunch of super cool people. I'm looking forward to the whole of the weekend because this is a Friday through Sunday event. We're talking all about it before we even got Travis here.
I know. Well, this has been like a really big like mind thing for me to get over. Like I'm doing a race that's like straight up a mountain. Like to me, without Joey, like to me, that's like a huge big deal. So talking about it helps, right? It relieves that anxiety of it a little bit. So
let's talk with Travis about it then. What do you think? Do you have anything non-GRUSK related that you've been up to this week that you want to share with the people?
I have been doing a lot. So last year on the 4th of July, Joey and I did a metric century. I don't know if you remember, we did 69.69.
I do remember that. Yes, I do.
You remember that?
Yes,
So Joey did that. So he was super bummed that he had a 3-day weekend and he had off and he got sick, but it's definitely his body's way of telling him like he definitely was working too much, definitely doing too much. He was almost out every night doing something after work. So definitely making sure that he takes time for him and his body to heal. I've had a harder time exercising when Joey's homesick because I'm like, oh, Joey's like on the couch all day. I can lay on the couch all day. Like it's just that mentality. Like I came home from work today and took a nap. So, yeah, all things going well. I've been writing a little bit more about myself, just sticking to 3-notch. And I know a lot of people don't like 3-notch because you have to constantly unclip and cross over roads. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with going slow and just meandering around and stuff like that.
It's just time on bike. It doesn't matter how fast you go or even, it's just time on bike. It's just time on bike.
And that's the good thing. It's also like I don't have to use navigation. I don't have to use any directions. Like I can only go the way the path goes.
Right. Can't get lost. Can't get lost when you're just going straight and then you turn around and go back the other way.
There's people. It's never like I'm riding without people.
Right.
Even if people aren't riding, there's places close. So I've been finding a lot of security with doing that. I've been lifting, which is a weird thing for me. But it was my secret to getting through my first marathon. So I've been actually lifting 5 days a week for only 30 minutes each day. But
wow.
Yeah. So it's not for aesthetics at all. It is purely for
tone conditioning, right?
Yeah. And your bodies just go through a lot of wear and tear. I actually have so the New York City Marathon is first. But Gravel Worlds is only in a month. We have GRUSK. I have Dirty Kitten. I have a lot on my schedule.
Yeah, Gravel Worlds is going to sneak up on us really fast. It's just suddenly going to be here.
And somebody just posted, I'm really excited to meet all the people at Gravel Worlds. I think all of the Philly Bike Expo people are riding Gravel Worlds. I almost called it Philly World. But, and they just put out a new, I don't know if you saw this, but they just put out a new Good Art glasses for Gravel Worlds.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. You were our social media butterfly. We Joey and I were like, we can't even figure out how to, do anything. So.
Yeah. And there's, it's great. A lot of people reached out about riding GRUSK, and I'm excited to see them. Cynthia Frazier messaged me and was like, double birthday weekend. So I'm really excited
Is she going to be there? Is she going to be at GRUSK?
She is going to be there. Nice. She's doing the longest ride.
That's okay. That's awesome.
Yeah. So when she was on the podcast, we were saying that it's our birthday weekend. So I'm really excited to see her, and I'm really excited just to meet her and talk to her. And the same thing, like I cannot wait to meet Kelly at unpaved. So again, it's just those people getting out there and meeting them. So that's why I'm so excited to write all the names down on my arm for all the people we meet at GRUSK. So
you're gonna be a mess, is what you gonna be.
yeah, I'm very well. People like come up to me and they're like, "Oh my god, I recognize your voice," and I'm like, "I don't have like a really odd voice, but like, So
it's funny,
it
funny.
is. So, So yeah, I've been lifting, been running. I did 8.5 miles this weekend for my long run, which was great. Was able to come back, do a lift. Just something short, 30 minutes, but really just getting into building some muscle bits up for all these things we have coming up. Because even like when I ride my bike, my arms get sore.
I'm back in therapy for my shoulder. My shoulder's been bothering
Are you?
me. Yeah. In fact,
Does it bother you when you're on your bike?
It doesn't, but I was working with my therapist and she was talking about, and we kind of made a breakthrough and bike positioning could actually have something to do with it.
Yeah.
Because, good form, you've actually got your shoulder blades kind of pinched a little bit to open up your chest so that you can breathe easier. And, I find I have to continually think about this, keeping my elbows bent. And keeping my shoulders pinched back. And so the last few days, we worked on, she was, helping me with like some different exercises to like muscle memory to make sure that shoulder blade is moving in the right direction when I'm moving my arm. And then when I was on the bike, I started thinking about that and sort of applying that. And today's therapy, she said, you're a little bit more open. So
nice.
Maybe I'd kind of thought all along that the bike really didn't have anything to do with it, but I think maybe you get a little lazy with your form. I know I do. And so I don't know. I've been doing a lot of miles. I'm kind of approaching training for gravel worlds in the same way that I approach training for unpaved. And I've kind of already begun that because, I've got that week in ESR where for 9 days, I don't get a lot of bike time. I'm actually going to get a little bit of bike time, but last year there was nothing. So I'm just doing a lot of long time efforts on bike, not really focused on trying to go really fast, just trying to focus on staying on the bike for longer periods of time. So I did, I think 280 miles last week. I did
that's solid.
300 miles the week before that. And just again, but I mean, you look at average speeds, they're still below 16 miles an hour, but for the whole of the effort for the entirety of the week. And it's just focused on keeping my butt on the bike, keeping it moving forward, knowing when I need to stop, when I need to take a break, when I need to, get off the bike for a few minutes. And it's working. It worked for unpaved last year. Hopefully it works for gravel worlds. And we'll just wait and see. We'll just wait and see. And the same thing is going to apply for GRUSK this weekend. So
yeah.
I did, I had my follow-up with my dentist. I had my dental surgery and I had my follow-up today. And he's like, you look really good, man. He's like, right on. See you in December. Okay. So yeah, I don't even get the next step until December. So it's a long ways off. It's a long process.
Yeah, it's definitely a journey, right?
Yeah. Hey, you want to, and since Joey's not here, do you want to do Strava Club? Have you got notes in front of you?
Yeah, absolutely. So the top 100 riders, random shout outs. We got Rob Loafman from Raleigh, North Carolina with 239 miles.
Good job, Rob.
Which is a pretty solid week of a bike. John Dubel from Wilmington, North Carolina with 207 miles.
Good job, John.
And Chris Brandon from Portland, Oregon with 152 miles.
A West Coaster.
Yeah, and I'm going to round that to 153 because it's 152.9. So we'll give him that extra 10th.
Good job.
And give him that 153. To break into the top 100, 140.2 miles.
That's up even again from last week, up like another 3 miles.
Yeah, and we've been having some, the 4th of July was beautiful here, but we've been having some really humid days over here.
Oh, yeah.
And the total members of our Strava club, we are up to 832 members.
We have been very stagnant there in that 830-ish window for a long time. What do we have to do to break through?
I don't know, but I know I don't use Strava.
That's right. So, are you even in the Strava club?
I'm probably in it, but I don't. I'm probably a member, but I don't even track my rides or anything. we went somewhere and somebody was like, when I walk my dog, I like track my miles with my dog. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then I was like thinking to myself, and I was like, I know people love numbers. It's just that, like, for me, I just get so obsessive with numbers and times and not hitting and, being up or down from last year. And I need, to me, there's just more pure enjoyment of it. I'm going outside, I'm riding my bike, and it's beautiful. So
you a fan of the movie Caddyshack? Do you remember the Caddyshack movie?
I've seen it, but I don't remember.
There was the joke, that because Chevy Chase's character didn't actually keep score, and he asked him, "How do you measure yourself against other golfers?" And he says, "By height." I was like, Joey would have gotten that. I was like, "How do you measure yourself against other cyclists?" Joey would have.
Yeah, that would be mine. Or like my outfits or something like that. Yeah, something like that. Like if I could actually wear a jersey or I'm wearing a t-shirt or yeah.
Hey, you want to get Travis on the horn?
Yeah, let's get him in.
Let's do it. Okay, everybody, joining us right now, Travis Olson on the spot. Travis, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Little, I won't say frazzled, but I'm just running around like crazy right now.
I've seen all the Instagram posts and everything with video from the course and how it looks fantastic. And, I know you're running like crazy right now.
Yeah, a little bit. I was kind of wondering, why did I want to talk to these guys on Tuesday? I'm leaving for the venue tomorrow. but I'm so stoked that you're going to be here. I'll be up at GRUSK, so I definitely wanted to talk to you all before you got up there and just see if you had any questions or anything that I needed to run down before you get there, helpful tips, any and everything.
It'll be good for us, but it'll also be good for our listeners because I know a lot of our listeners are coming to GRUSK. So this is a great opportunity for you to kind of another opportunity to kind of push that information that nobody ever sees. Because I was telling Jess earlier, I know you sent an email, but I haven't opened it up yet because I know a lot of people I'm sure are like that.
Yeah, that's I can kind of see through either Bike Reg or MailChimp who opens things up, and it's about half and half. So I try to get it out there, but this year it's I don't know, time just gets away from you. And,
it does.
When you're a middle-sized race like this, it's I'm getting to the point now where I just need probably a marketing person, communications person to just handle that while I do the race logistics. It'd be much simpler.
Yeah, you kind of you spread yourself a little too thin, and I think that's probably what's hit Joey, right, Jess? With not feeling well, he spreads himself very thin.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's just a common thing. I mean, it's the time of the year where paddle sports is going full notch and the bike shop is going full notch. And then, he's trying to ride his bike too. So, just putting himself in too many areas without resting, I think it's your body's way of giving you feedback. So Travis, we hope you have a good night's slumber after GRUSK.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
I will.
Hope that once you get done with GRUSK, I keep telling Joey, eat your fruits and vegetables. There's nature's antioxidants, and that he keeps telling me I'm just gonna eat beans. I don't know where he got beans from, but
that sounds like Joey. So
yeah, he tells me they grow. So I don't know.
Travis, registration is closed online. Is there a way though for anybody to still get in if they wanted to?
Yeah, not at this point, and it's kind of by design. In recent years, it was just really hard to juggle all that. The week of the event, and then especially race day registration.
Yeah, that's a mess. That's just a madhouse. You're trying to do packet pickup. You're trying to get people in. You're trying to get all that stuff done. That's smart. That's a smart way to do it. What was your potential cap, and how many folks do you have registered?
So I set a lofty cap of around 600, and I was going to be happy if I got close to 500. So I think we're right around 475 right now. So
Brilliant.
We came really close to kind of an unspoken goal, but didn't hit the cap, which is fine.
That's good, actually.
Nearly 500 people is a lot of people.
Yeah, and how many people now? Now this is I know I'm coming in. Jess and I are coming in midday Friday, Friday. Right?
Awesome.
Yeah, we're getting up. We're leaving here. Jess, you don't know this yet, but you and I we're leaving here sort of mid morning. We're not doing any stupid dark 30 thing. But we're boogieing on out to West Virginia so that we can get you into your dorm room, and so I can get my camp set up for the weekend. I'm so excited, Travis, to actually come to GRUSK this year, because it seems like something has always gotten in the way for me, and not this year.
I'm pretty excited too. That's
not
awesome. You're gonna love it.
And I know Larry's going to be there doing truck camping, so we'll hook up, and then Jess is going to be off with wherever Jess is going to be, and boy, it's going to be just a fantastic weekend. But the whole thing, I think, is what's got me the most excited. And I think I'm doing the middle route. Jess is doing a shorter route. So we want to be able to spend as much time with folks as we can, and kind of just, meeting people and talking to people and hanging out. And Travis, do this. Let's walk through the weekend. And as we do it, make sure you're focusing on the stuff that people absolutely need to know that are coming this year, or that are going to miss out this year and going to be there for 2023. How's that sound?
Oh, sounds perfect.
What about Friday? What's Friday look like?
So Friday's busy. So that's Friday morning, 6 a.m. That's when the 220-mile Venti riders go out, and those are the folks that are out there doing it's a grand depart, going out for the fastest time. That's more the it's all non-competitive this year, but they're the racier crew for that 220-mile course. So after they depart, then I just tidy up, do any, probably eat some breakfast, have a cup of coffee after they leave at 6, and then just wait for people to start pouring in. If we don't have the venue completely dialed in by then, that's what I'll be doing until a lot of the campers start showing up, late morning, mid-afternoon. And then after folks get into the venue, we'll have, I'm still trying to get some live music. I've had a lot of trouble, I think, with gas prices. It's, the musicians just aren't willing to drive 3 hours out of their way up to Spruce Knob this year. So, I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm going to have any live music on Friday, but we'll definitely have a band on Saturday. But back to Friday, we'll have Greenbrier Valley Brewing Company, and we have a tap trailer up there, so they'll be pouring some of their limited pours on Friday. And that's a free service that we provide. We do encourage tips, and any tips that we get go to our charities in the tip jar at the beer tent.
Nice.
Then we have meal plans for those who pre-purchase. That's not something that you can purchase at the event, because it's being a remote venue, they get everything ready ahead of time and know the numbers for the folks that are showing up. So we'll have dinner for the folks that have purchased that, or if you want to sit around and campfire, we'll have a campfire down at the registration area. Pretty chill on Friday, and that's kind of the intent. We just want people to come up, have a beer, eat some dinner, relax, and get ready for the next day.
Jess, did you buy a meal ticket?
Actually, I was just pulling that up. I'm not sure.
I think you both did.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you both got the meal plans for the, I try to have a good memory, but when it gets 475 deep, but I'm pretty sure I was just looking at the meal plans. I think you're both covered for all 3 meals through the weekend.
Shoot, but I'm bringing food, Jess. I'm bringing food.
I was gonna say my husband knows my little tendencies. However, there's no like Wawa clothes. Like no.
No.
Whatever we buy at Wawa when we're on our way up there, Jess, the Wawa will be in the back of my truck. That's where you will find the Wawa selection that you have chosen. If you don't have, Joey will probably send you with your own giant Yeti, so you'll be fine.
That's awesome.
I'm also concerned that I should download my music before I get there. Is that correct? Because I heard there was like there's not a lot of internet connection, right?
Yeah, there is. I won't say zero, because when you're coming up into the venue, you'll get a spot of AT&T. But I can't speak for the other services, but I get like a blip of AT&T when I'm hitting the peak in the venue property. And by the time you get down to where you're camping, or especially down at the yurts where you'll be staying, Jess, there is nothing. But there is Wi-Fi there. We do have Wi-Fi,
Wow.
the venue, and it's really good until you get 400 people cramming onto it. So enjoy it Friday afternoon, or get up early in the morning and make your post
Yeah.
But after that, once everybody finds out I don't advertise the password, but they do, because I try to hoard it a little bit, because I do have emails that have to get out.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm usually up at midnight those nights, just getting stuff out if I haven't already. But yeah, to answer your question, Jess, you'll have some Wi-Fi, you'll have some connection to the outside world, but it's pretty limited.
Still
No
download
worries.
your music. Download your music, Jess, please.
Yeah.
Do it now.
When you're riding and you get in that low spot and you're like, there's nobody around, you have nobody to talk to, and you're like, I don't want to do this. Like, music definitely helps. Like, I have like my playlist, so just gonna download that beforehand, and then hopefully everybody in the yurt I'm staying with brings earplugs, because I am a wiki nasty snorer. Like, I snore like crazy, so
No.
I am very hopeful that my yurt mate.
You should pack some for your neighbors.
Plugs.
Yeah, pack some for your friends, Jess. That's the thing to do.
That'd be a nice courtesy.
So when we come in on Friday, come in on the truck, come up to registration, I got to take Jess to her yurt, and then is it like just field camping, and you're like out there and kind of like in the thing?
Yeah. So the camping, it's primitive. So bring everything you need, including plenty of water. Whatever you might need to clean up after the race. We might have a hose, and here's why it's a little bit difficult up there. They have a well, and they never know how much water the well is going to have from year to year. So they do try to conserve up there. So it's hard to offer showers and things like that to 400, 500 dirty racers. So we do encourage folks to bring 2 or 3 gallons of water with you, just to spritz up and clean yourself, clean all the dust off of your gravel journey.
Well, I'm ready for it. I've got 4 water jugs. I've got 18 gallons of water I bring with me for things like this. I've got my little portable shower, Jess. I got everything set up. I'm hopeful I'm set up for all of that.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine. And Jess, because she bought the dorm package, she'll have access to the bathhouse, and they have a few showers.
That's bougie, Jess.
So, so she'll be in good shape. But when you come in, let's talk about getting into the venue and getting to the venue.
Perfect. Yeah.
It's windy roads when you get into West Virginia. Really, really good. Probably 4-lane roads across the mountains, across the first set of mountains, and into West Virginia, and then you'll get on some 2-lane roads, and they're a little bit windy, but they follow the valleys, so it's not too bad. Really, really good shape roads. But then you get to the gravel roads that are leading up to the venue, and depending on which way you come in, I'm pretty sure I know exactly which way you'll be coming in from the direction that you'll be following. That you'll have the least amount of gravel roads. You won't hit gravel until you get almost halfway up the mountain to the venue, and then it turns to legit gravel, and it'll slow you down a little bit, and you'll be with some of the race day or pre-race day traffic. But give what I recommend, and the email that you haven't had a chance to read yet. It kind of gives you the recommendation to whatever Google Maps tells you, add an hour to it, and that just pads it for you, so you or other riders aren't stressed on race day and running late, because when you get up to the venue, it's a mile from the front gate to where the packet pickup is and where your campsites are. So we like to, because it's a 1.5 lane dirt road, and it's probably the roughest road that you'll encounter on the entire course. We just like folks to give themselves plenty of time to navigate that, and for some of the bigger vehicles, we'll stop traffic and let them come through and manage traffic that way. So just I'd like you and your folks to keep that in mind when you're getting to the venue, that folks might ask you to stop and let traffic come the opposite way.
So when you're getting in there, just be mindful of all of that. Traffic flows and being helpful, and if you get stopped or you get stopped behind a line of traffic, you're not going to be there forever. You just need to kind of like chill, and you're going to get there. Okay. Well, because some people are going in. Yeah, they might freak out and think there's like been an accident or something kind of thing. So that's really good information to have. The party begins when the traffic starts. How's that?
Yeah, right. Our friend Travis, our friend Cynthia Frazier is doing that big ride. So
yes, she is.
Isn't that exciting? Wow.
She's going to do a great job. You know, she's her efforts this year have just been so phenomenal. I mean, it's unreal, and I'm really proud that she's, you know, doing so well, and I'm honored that she's coming to GRUSK again. You know, she's been there before, and she's always done well. So I can't wait to see how she does on this, you know, long course.
I think that's going to be a this or that question: is who does it faster? Cynthia doing like it's a 200-mile ride, or Jess doing the 25? Like that's going to be
I can answer that now, but if you want to save it for this or that, we can let we can.
I don't have that as a this or that, but
oh my goodness, Jess, if you're out there that long, we will come looking for you before you. I mean, it's going to take Cynthia probably 18 to 20 hours to finish that course. Yeah, Jess, if you're not back in 3, we're coming to look for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that's not going to be it, so that won't be a problem. I actually just opened the email, so like you should have just gotten an email notification that Brian finally opened up your email with the whole, and it actually is really well laid out, because you've got your link to the Google Drive that's got all the documents in it, so nobody has to worry about attachments. Really well done, and then the whole schedule laid out super easy to follow. So awesome, good job, nice job on that.
Oh, thanks. We're learning from year to year.
Go ahead, Jess.
Sorry. I think I talked over you guys. Travis, how long have you been putting on GRUSK?
Oh, you caught me at a tired moment. I want to say this is the 6th year, 7 total, not counting the COVID year, the last year, but I think this is the number 6.
Wow.
But I have to do the math on that.
Yeah.
It's getting a little bit easier every year, but it gets bigger every year. So then again, it gets harder every year. So it doesn't really make sense, but that's the way the equation goes.
Now, what kind of weather have you ordered for the weekend?
I have ordered some moderate, sprinkles on Friday morning, just to kick the dust down.
Perfect.
Make things a little bit tacky. And then I've ordered high pressure, sunny skies with some clouds, so you don't get baked out there for Friday afternoon and Saturday, and a beautiful sunset both evenings. So that's what I ordered. And I don't know, we've had hit and miss weather throughout the years, but as I was researching to put this race on, I went back through all the NOAA data. Oddly enough, to pick the weekend, and this weekend is one of the more stable weekends of the year, notwithstanding a afternoon pop-up thunderstorm.
Gotcha. So Friday, it's 8:00, dinner's done, packet pickup is closed, everybody's bedding down for the night in their tents or in their truck tents or in their rooftop tents or in their campers or in their yurts, and everything gets quiet. So Friday's done. That's pretty much it, right? What's Saturday looking like?
Saturday morning's really busy. So breakfast, coffee rolls out at 6:00 if you purchase the meal plan. Or if you're up there camping, I'm sure you have your camp stove and people will be brewing their own coffee. 6:30, the folks who have purchased meal plans come down and eat breakfast. People start rolling in, either who didn't make it to packet pickup that previous night or are just rolling into the venue that morning, are getting there for packet pickup. And we highly recommend you get there, in plenty of time to come pick up your packet that morning. And then at 9:00, 10 till 9 is the Grande 105-mile racers meeting. And then 9:00, the 105-mile riders go out on their course. And then at 10 till 10, we'll do the 84-mile riders. And then at 10:30, we'll do the 55 and the 32, the Medio and the Highlights rider. So that'll be both of you. So around 20 after 10, we'll have a little riders meeting, and 10:30, you guys will take off.
I love these starting times. I absolutely love these starting times. None of this like rushing around in the morning. It's like, yeah, get up, get yourself settled, get your things together, get your bike ready. It's the beauty of the long days of mid-June and early July, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would ideally, if I was closer to, where the people were and they didn't have to drive so far to get to the venue, I'd have it a little bit earlier because those 105 people, I mean, they're gonna have a long day, some of them, I think.
And they'll be in the heat of the day too. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So ideally, I would start them, and maybe something for next year, start them maybe a little bit earlier, maybe even 7. And that's going to require them to get to the venue the night before.
I would encourage camping maybe. I would encourage them to get there and kind of be a part of the whole weekend. Yeah.
And I think most of them will. I really encourage that from the get-go. We have so much camping in the fields. You're camping in an open meadow at 4,000 feet with a view of Spruce Knob and a view into Virginia. It's incredible. I mean, if it's let's hope that it's clear and you get the vista, that you signed up for, because it's really spectacular. You'll fall in love with this venue.
Nice.
It's really magical.
Now the 105. What's the elevation gain for the 105?
Oh, you caught me.
Or rough ballpark. Doesn't need to be.
Caught me without my cheat sheet.
doesn't need to be. What's a ballpark?
Yeah, I want to say it's 8,800 feet.
Okay.
That's off the top of my head. And then the 84 mile, it isn't that much less, because that 105 mile course just adds on one of the best downhills in West Virginia. One of the best downhills I've ever done and you'll be doing this, and I don't know, Jess will miss it, but you'll be doing it, and the 105 mile folks will be doing it down Dry Fork Road. It's just spectacular. So the 84 mile course is, I think, around 7,700 feet of climbing. So it's pretty significant, but it's not quite 100 feet per mile. So I'm giving you a little bit of a break. And the 55 mile, it's right around 5,000 feet of elevation. It gets back into the 100 mile or 100 feet per mile kind of realm. And then the, Jess's course is just a little bit less. I think she'll be at 25 miles, depending on which one she does. I think she signed up for the longer highlights course, which takes her down the grassy downhill, which is this beautiful 2-mile double track downhill. And then it takes you back up past Spruce Knob Lake for just an extra 7 miles over top of our shortest route. So it's the one I recommend, especially if it's dry. For those listening who are doing the highlights, you'll have the opportunity to skip that if it's incredibly wet. But if you want the adventure, I would suggest taking that grassy downhill, because it's a muddy slip and slide if it's been raining.
Oh, well, we're not having that rain stuff. That's staying away. That's
nope.
That's not on the docket.
That's what I've ordered. It's not on the order.
Not on the docket. What do riders that are thinking about bike setup, they're sort of like in between, and I fall in this category. So I can go 38-42, or I can actually just leave my 50s on. What do you recommend?
So if you already have your 50s on, leave your 50s on, especially since this is, we're transitioning and migrating to a non-competitive ride with some timed segments. Those 50s aren't going to be a penalty, and you're just going to be riding on lazy boy tires, and really being comfortable. So
nice.
I would, the roads around Spruce Knob are really buffed out right now because the Forest Service, I don't know if it's the budget or what, or just they're short staffed, but they haven't been doing much grading and putting new gravel on the roads. Knock on wood, they don't do that this week sometime.
Oh Lord.
That happened in 2018, I think. They they put big chunky gravel on the 6-mile climb to the summit. I was livid, but what are you gonna do?
Sounds like what they did. Sounds like what they did to Matt down there at Croatan, where it was like, "Hey, we're going to do you a favor and plow this 4-mile road up and make it just one big giant muddy mess before the week before your race." Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but this year everything's really buffed out and really riding well, and oddly enough, there aren't that many potholes. When I drove the course yesterday, when I was up there dropping off a trailer, it looked really, really nice. So you could get away with 38s. In the early days of my gravel riding, I would ride 32s or 35s, and be just fine. And that was with tubes and lots of pressure. So, now the 42s and, 40 pounds of pressure or less are just like a dream.
I've got actually, I said 38s, but I've actually got 35s on. I got for road work on the Working now, but I've got a second set of wheels set up with the 50s. I'm still going to ride the 50s because I'm looking to have fun. I ain't racing. I'm just out there to have me. I like that lazy boy kind of ride because that both describes me and the type of riding that I would like to do.
That's a good decision. I think the 50s will suit you just fine.
Anything else riders need to know?
So one of the bigger changes, other than going to the time segment kind of Grand Fondo format for this year, which is probably the biggest change, we're going to hit the summit first instead of last. And there's a couple reasons for that. I want people to get to the top of Spruce Knob and feel fresh, hit it right off the bat, because it is a significant climb. And take time to ride out to the observation deck and just go see Spruce Knob, once you're up there. Previous years, everybody was racing and they would just race around the parking lot and right back down. So they didn't really get to see it, stop and get a picture taken by the photographer who's going to be up there, and just enjoy the view. So that's one of the bigger changes for the course this year, is the summit first. And then that takes a lot of the risk of afternoon thunderstorms. Being the highest peak in West Virginia and the highest thing around, it was only a matter of time before someone got fried up there in a 2 to 3 o'clock thunderstorm, because that's when they pop up. So, I'm getting older. I'm getting a little more risk adverse, in my 50s, and I think about these things more than I did when I was younger. So I want everybody getting off the summit in one piece, and with all their hair and fingernails.
If you got through the fourth with all your fingers attached, then you definitely don't want to lose them the following weekend. That's
true.
Definitely not what you want to do.
This all sounds a little bit daunting with like the summit and getting fried. Like I'm a little bit like.
No, you'll be fine. You'll be hitting the summit, probably around 11:30.
Nice.
At a reasonable pace. So I think you'll be in good shape, Jeff.
I like this idea. What I'm hearing is, it sounds like, I know it's 100 feet per mile, but it sounds like that big kind of gnarly climb is front loaded.
Yeah, it is. And it's really not even a big gnarly climb. What you'll find in this area, the Monongahela National Forest, is the climbs are really gradual. You won't hit a steep climb until you're climbing a little steep pitch back into the venue, and then you'll probably cuss me a little bit, and then you'll go have a beer, and it'll be great.
Well, let's talk about that now, because the most important part of the day, 3 o'clock. What happens at 3 o'clock?
So 3 o'clock, the beer tent opens, or the beer garden opens, and taps start flowing with Greenbrier Valley Brewing. I think we have over 20 kegs showing up. So, and some of those are the smaller kegs, so manage your expectations. But right. we kicked almost all the kegs last year, and that was with about the same size crowd. So bikers are always thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
Bikers bring their own favorite beer, but we probably have 10 different flavors of Greenbrier Valley Brewing Company beer. So they've been really good to us, and this year we have the tap trailer, so we're really stoked to have them up.
And we got some live music, right? Live music, you said?
Yeah. Last year's model, they're friends of mine that live close, and they make the 3-hour drive from here up to where I live, up to Spruce Knob, and play. This will be their third year, and they do some originals. And they're really good. They've cut a couple albums, and they do some really fantastic covers. I think you're really digging a lot of 80s classics, and some stuff that you've heard, and some more alternative stuff that is really good.
So it's a sing-along time. It's sing-along time is what it sounds like. So the throttle is off because it's Saturday night. The beer garden is open. There's no concern about having to race a bike the next day. There's sing-along music, and there's food, and probably a fire going on with the bonfire thing, and it's going to be a rocking good time.
Yeah, that's my favorite part, when things start to wind down a little bit. and everyone just settles in around the campfire or up in their collective, little clatches up at their campsites, up in the meadows. Because what's cool is for the campers that are up in the meadow, and I had to explain this to the band, it's like a huge amphitheater. So if you're camped up in the meadow and the band's playing down at the yurts, you can hear it plain as day. So people just go back to their camp and just hang out in their chairs and, just, drink beer out of their own cooler and, just hang out. So you have all these little pockets of riders just enjoying their evening, talking about their day, sipping a beer and listening to some good music.
And about this time, I don't know, you didn't hear the first part, but Jess is actually getting tattooed.
Nice.
Throughout the entire event, she's carrying a Sharpie, and everybody that she meets, it's a listener, she's actually going to write it. She says she's writing it in her hand, but Jess, it's going to go all the way up your arm. You're
going to run out of arm.
Yeah. And that's the coolest part is like, there's been people that stop me at aid stations or when I'm jamming with Taylor Swift up a mountain or singing, like, they're like, oh my God, Jess, I recognize your voice. And it's really cool. So I'm really excited to start giving them shout outs. And just to meet them and hear their stories and stuff like that. Even people, when I reposted your video, have been reaching out. They're like, oh, I'm doing the big ride and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to meet and see everything and see the venue. And you have just been extraordinary in setting this event up and being so helpful with communication and everything like that. So I'm just really stoked to meet you guys and to be there. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome, Jess. Thanks for coming. You too, Brian.
And instead of Find Waldo or Where's Waldo, it's going to be Where's Jess? Because you find her and say, Jess, I listened. She is taking that Sharpie and your name's going somewhere. So we want to fill up the sleeve is what we want to do. That's our objective is a name sleeve for Jess that will be there for how long Sharpie last on skin, Jess? Do you know?
Well, so I don't know if you guys know this, but as a triathlete, they write with Sharpie on your calf, on your arm. They always write your number and your age, right? It's like speed dating because you get to like ride your bike and see everybody's age on their calf.
So
it does last a few days. So I may be walking into pre-K with like names on my arm, but it's okay. Long shirts, it's fine.
Some rubbing alcohol, take that right off.
Yeah, rubbing alcohol. I actually really get
sandpaper.
I get really bad paper. I get
bourbon.
I always get chain grease on my leg, so I'm like used to rubbing that off. So I'm very excited to keep the Sharpie with me and to meet everybody and stuff like that.
Well, we used to, when the kids were in the swim team, we would always write their heats and their lanes and everything on the back of their hands so that they wouldn't lose and they would know where they were supposed to be.
Yeah. EX2 Adventures they used to have a bike series called the Cranky Monkey, and there was 9 hours at Rocky Gap State Park in Maryland. We look forward to that every year, but they would write our category or our class on the back of our calf, so we would just pull our socks up really high to cover that up so people didn't know who was in front of them.
That's smart.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Saturday. That is, I mean, as if that's not enough, then you're there all Saturday night. Your campers are there Saturday night. Things are winding down, and then what happens on Sunday?
So Sunday's usually a more leisurely morning. I'm usually up at the crack of dawn. Just because I'm still so wound up, grab my coffee, and usually we have a spectacular sunrise coming up. And that's when I have the opportunity to just sit and chat with folks, which is really the reason I put this event on. I love the biking, but I love to meet people and I love to talk about their experience and just hear about their day and what they have next on their agenda. So that's what Sunday morning is for me, and that's what it is for a lot of people. So you'll see a lot of people start to pack up, obviously, but if you have a chance, come on down to the yurts before you leave and just hang out and enjoy a cup of coffee and chat it up with your fellow racers.
That's awesome. I mean, what a great weekend. The whole of the experience. I know we've given Greenbrier Valley Brewing. Let's give them another shout out. Bringing the beer, bringing the goods, bringing the tent or the trailer with the taps. That's awesome. Any other sponsors that you want to, throw some love their way?
Yeah, so the local bike shops, West Virginia is, it's a really tight-knit cycling community, and, the bike shops don't necessarily compete against each other, but Joey's Bike Shop, a local bike shop, Pike Street Bikes, and Jason Martin and Tammy and their boys, they help out so much, and they'll be at an aid station. Blackwater Bikes, that's in Davis, West Virginia. They're a neutral aid spot for the 220-mile folks. So they'll have food, and they'll let folks camp out in the field beside their shop. So we love the local bike shops. Pathfinder of West Virginia, that's up in Morgantown. They always hook us up with support, and it really goes a long way. It's really makes us feel like a grassroots event. Having that local support. Squirt Cycling, Chain Lube, they make a fabulous bike cleaner. I discovered that last year when they sent a big jug of it. I'll be very honest, I kept it because it works so well.
Nice.
But I'm hoping I think they sent more, so I'll be giving that away this year. Wolftooth sent a few little packages to hand out to folks. We have Hammer Nutrition. They've been so good to us and a lot of other events in the area. They've supported us, no question, every year. Give us gels and race caps and Duralights and things like that to hand out to riders. And Lauf Cycling, they're coming in with $1,000 gift certificate to anything on their website, which could be one of their suspension forks, their carbon suspension forks, or one of their bikes. Or I think they have some handlebars and things like that you could get, but we'll be raffling that off.
Nice.
And all the proceeds to that go to the local fire departments and the West Virginia University Amateur Radio Club, who does all of our communication support for the weekend. We try to raise a lot of money for those folks.
Ooh, so what you're saying
all the help they give.
is bring my little radio so I can listen in on what's going on. I'm definitely doing that. I'm a ham radio operator.
Okay, if you're an operator, bring it. Yeah, they'll be
absolutely
bring it on your bike. Yep, you can listen to them throughout the day. They do a very professional job, much more professional than I was at probably 20, 21 years old.
Nice.
They take their job very seriously. Yeah, I'm proud of those folks. But yeah, that's it for the sponsors.
You can have some event photos are available too.
Yeah, so we'll have a couple photographers, probably 2 or 3 photographers around the course, along with some videographers. And we'll have some QR codes in your race packet, and I'll also post a link to those after the fact. She'll be hosting all the photographers' photos on her Smug Mug site, so everybody has access to them.
Cool. So let me do a recap, and if I have digested all of the important things, then I think we've done a pretty good job. Okay, number 1, open the email. Read the dumb email. Read the email. It's very important. Read the email.
Yes.
The venue is very remote, so make sure you give yourself plenty of time to get there and plan, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Bring water. Make sure you have water with you. That's another thing. And one more time, read the email, because that's got all the good information in it. Open up the Google Drive. Make sure you've downloaded your music, if that's what you need. What have I missed, Jess? Anything else that's super important?
No, but Taylor Swift on my ride is essential. So yes, I'm definitely going to download music and download the routes. It's probably going to be hard to connect your Wahoo Garmin-ish if you need to download routes.
Cool. And bring a good attitude and be ready to have a good time. That's probably the most important thing.
Yep, that's one of my rules. I have very few rules, but the third one is just don't be a jerk. Yeah. And if you bring a jerk, then you're a jerk. That's kind of my standing rule. So don't be a jerk and don't bring a jerk. So it's pretty simple.
Anything we've missed? Anything else we need to wrap up? I think we've done a pretty good job here. Thank you so much, Travis. This has been a lot of fun. Not only, and I'm going to do an early release, so this is going to go out tonight. Jess, I don't know if you knew that. This is going out tonight, so that people that are headed to GRUSK will have additional opportunity to jump in there and listen to that.
Oh man, I feel so special.
Let's do this or that. You guys want to do this or that? I'm excited about this or that this week.
Awesome! I am too. Then
Travis, you're first. Jess, you're second, and then I guess it's up to me to mess it all up. First one: blackened or fried?
Ooh, blackened.
Jess.
So I don't know if everybody knows this, but Joey told me that he gave me fish on my dinner plate, and he told me it was catfish, but it was really snakehead. Did I tell you guys that?
Yes, we talked a little bit about it last week, I think.
Yeah.
He blackened it, but I guess if it was fried, I wouldn't know. I don't know. I'm now very weary of eating things around Joey because I don't know what it is.
Fool me once, right? Fool me once.
Last night he gave me this delicious steak, and I'm like, "Oh, what is this?" And he's like,
"Is it snakehead?"
I definitely wanted to ask more inquiring questions so I could know. I'm gonna say fried though because you can't go wrong with anything fried. It just tastes like fried food,
Yeah. I'm gonna go with blackened, but I am gonna throw a little love to fried. But the danger with fried though is if it's really nicely lightly fried, that is hard to beat. But man, sometimes they throw so much breading on stuff, and it just ends up being this conglomeration of cornbread stuff. So I'm going to go with blackened, but hard to beat a little bit of decent lightly fried food. Second item on this week's this or that: the misty taste of moonshine or Green Valley, or what was it? Green River?
Greenbrier Valley.
Okay, so Greenbrier Valley or the misty taste of moonshine, and you know where that comes from.
I do. So you're, John Denver. Well, if he would have, like we talked about in the last time we got together, if he would have written that song about West Virginia, I would say that. But let's go with Greenbrier Valley.
Got to show those sponsors.
Brewing company.
Jess.
So in college, we used to put moonshine in our Fruit Loops. So
that explains a lot about you.
Back in my heyday, I remember tailgating for a football game, and I used to put moonshine in my Fruit Loops. It was very sweet. It was very very good. But then I absolutely incredibly love beer. So I'm actually going to go with beer on this one. But
okay.
Both in my heyday, both were very true loves of my heart.
I'm gonna go with, I don't drink it a lot, but moonshine, just because beer's so heavy. I like the idea of something that could light you on. You could start a fire with, and you can consume. That combination of two things is just appeals to me. So I'm gonna go with moonshine. Sometimes they mix fruit in it, like peach moonshine or this or that. So that's where I'm going to go.
We'll have some for you. We actually, and I forgot to mention, so Still Hollow Distillery, Still Hollow Spirits is also one of our sponsors, and they're a stop on the 220-mile route. So I'm going to stop there on the way up. So come see me, Brian. I'll have some moonshine. Probably it might be some whiskey, but I might get a bottle of moonshine as well.
Any and all of the above is fine. Third item: orange juice or milk. We know that Jess likes moonshine with breakfast now, but orange juice or milk?
Orange juice. I've migrated away from milk into the almond milk, so definitely orange juice. Plus, you can mix it with vodka.
Yes, sir. Jess?
I actually don't like orange juice or dairy milk, so I'm actually going to say almond milk.
That's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, so almond milk. I like almond milk. But at Dunkin' Donuts, they charge you a whole extra $1 if you put almond milk in your coffee and not actual.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
So
it does take a lot of time to milk the individual little almonds.
Exactly. And at Wawa, all of their coffee, no matter the size, is only $2. So Joey was this weekend was you want to go to coffee? You want to go to this cafe? And I was like, let's go to Wawa. So we drove over the bridge, went to Wawa and get coffee. So Wawa's my new love now. So, but I'm going to go with almond milk. But yeah.
I too have stopped. I can't even remember the last time I had milk. So I'm going to go with orange juice as well. I just milk, although even orange juice sometimes it's really kind of acidic. I'm an iced tea drinker, so but there's that. I'm going to go with orange juice though over milk. Last item: Mountain Mama or Mountain Mary. Lots of crickets.
I'm not familiar with. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Mountain Mary.
Mountain Mary is up in southeast Pennsylvania. She's like the Mountain Mary is like a healer. Like she was like one of these characters from southeast Pennsylvania. So really, what this comes down to is John Denver's Mountain Mama, which is a West Virginia thing, or Mountain Mary, which is kind of a Pennsylvania thing. So roundabout way, this is a West Virginia Pennsylvania thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've always got to go with West Virginia, even though I love PA and all the PA friends that I have, but definitely have to go with Mountain Mama.
Jess.
So I'm glad Travis paused because I had to Google these before we even started this.
I knew the first one.
So I guess a Mountain Mama is a woman to produce alternate bags for pre-loved materials is the Google definition.
Okay. All right. I didn't know that. I was just using John Denver.
Oh, man. I'm changing my answer.
What is a Mountain Mama? So I had no idea what it was. So are we doing West Virginia versus PA?
Not really, but in a kind of a roundabout way.
I went to college in PA, and I think I drove through West Virginia, but I don't think I've actually gone to West Virginia. So this will be my first real West
Holy
Virginia.
mackerel.
Yeah. So
nice.
So I'm going to give you going with I'm unsure where you went, Jess.
I'm very sorry, but I have nowhere to go because I don't know any of these.
Okay.
So
let me
go Mountain Mama.
Let me give you a little bit of background here on Mountain Mary, and this is from the Pennsylvania German Cultural Heritage Center in Kutztown University in Pennsylvania. Venerated as the sainted healer of the Ole Valley, Mountain Mary, or Anna Marie Young, 1744 to 1819, has become one of the preeminent legendary figures of southeastern Pennsylvania, and she is enshrined in works of art and immortalized in poetry. Mountain Mary embodies the spirit of the region's folk culture even 2 centuries after her death. She was a young German-speaking immigrant from war-torn Europe, spent 40 years in the wilderness as a hermit, and rose to the level of folk hero among the Pennsylvania Dutch for her legacy of healing, generosity, and kindness. How's that?
I'm going with Mountain Mama because after I ride GRUSK, they're going to call me the Mountain Mama.
Okay.
I'm going to write that in Sharpie on your arm.
I'm going to go with Mountain Mary. Good, not because I'm ignoring the whole Pennsylvania, West Virginia thing. I'm going with Mountain Mary because she sounds like the original badass hermit that helped people. I kind of really love that. So I'm going to head in that direction. So, hey, Travis, this has been a whole lot of fun, man. Just a whole lot of fun, and it's just leading right into even more fun this weekend. I cannot hardly wait. I've already started packing. Jess, have you started packing yet?
No.
Okay.
I did write down a list of things I might need to bring after you were talking about it. So
I have.
All right, folks. And Jess had a question. Travis, maybe you can answer it because Cutaway USA, born in the Blue Ridge. Obviously, the mountains of West Virginia are part of the Blue Ridge Mountains, correct?
Absolutely. We're actually the Alleghenies. So I'm not sure how that shakes out, but we'll say they're part of the Blue Ridge.
I think it's the whole. There's individual things inside of, so I think it's all considered Blue Ridge. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to ask a map person.
And what does really good with Blue Ridge?
What?
Cutaway USA.
There you go. Hey, thanks everybody for listening to this episode of Mid-Atlantic Gravel Travel Nerd. If you enjoy the podcast, maybe consider joining us on Patreon. We'd love you. But the best thing you can do for us is listen and share the episodes with your friends. That's the best way. Hey, Jess, you want to take over for Joey and tell folks how they can get in touch with us?
Yeah, absolutely. You can contact us at the website Gravel Travel Dirt or at Instagram at Mid-Atlantic GTD. Do you want me to tell you? Mid-Atlantic Gravel Travel and Dirt is recorded from various locations today.
Yeah.
I am in my house. Brian is at his house, and Travis is in West Virginia. So at one point, we will all congeal over the weekend and all be together in West Virginia, besides Joey, who will be home probably. Recuperating. So, yeah, that's where it's recorded from.
Thanks for riding along, everybody. Until next time, do good, be nice, go slow, respect others. Thank you, Travis, and Joey. Feel better, buddy.
Yeah, thank you all.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Oh, we did it all at one time. That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one.